Okay, I think we're live.
All right.
A little bit of technical challenges, to say the least. And that's the way they always go. Hello, everybody, and I do mean everybody, and welcome to Conversations on SPI News. This is episode 1 of what we hope continues, at least weekly, to get started. If you or you know of someone that would be interested to visit and interested in getting on and being on Conversations with SPI News, let us know. Send us a message on the website contact page. And if you don't mind, do that before the show's over. Tonight, we're grateful, very, very grateful to have one of our newly elected Laguna Vista aldermen, Frank Galvan, on the show. Frank is going to tell us about his first weeks in office, the issues now facing the town, and questions residents have about public trust in our local government, code enforcement, local priorities, and how town government works. I want to make something crystal clear here at the start. This program is not here to provide anyone a path to making personal attacks, anonymous accusations, neighborhood feuds, or social media arguments. We're here for a respectful and an important exchange of ideas and civic conversation about matters of public interest in Laguna Vista, Texas. Fair questions, you're welcome. Personal insults or not. We'll be reviewing some of the comments and the questions over on the side in the chat, and we may use it for follow-up to Frank later on, to be sure, and to be sure, subscribe to SPI News. All right. With that, let's see. Frank Galvan. Good evening, sir. Frank Galvan, 23 years spent in the United States Marine Corps. Specific involvement in safety, compliance, crisis management, logistics, and resource management. Happily married, the father of 7 children. Frank, say a few words and I'll get started with the first question tonight.
Hey, good evening. Thanks, Rick, for having me again. So I spent 23 years in the Marine Corps, retired. I'm back home. This is where I grew up. I was born and raised. And I've been elected for Alderman Place 1 here in Laguna Vista. So I'm looking forward to serving the residents. As always, they can always reach out to me at any point in time. My email is councilgalvan@lvtexas.us. So if they ever have any concerns or issues, I have had neighbors, residents approach me that would like to stay anonymous. So they just bring me their concerns, and which is fine too. That's fine with me. That's what I'm here for.
What's that email one more time?
councilgalvan@lvtexas.us.
Council Galvan. Okay, good. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have only been on the Laguna Vista City Town Council for a short time. What has the first few weeks been like from your side of the table?
Just learning. I'm not a politician. I've attended a few meetings, but I'm there to ask questions, figure out why we're doing certain things, these agenda items that they're discussing. I think the more questions that I ask, I'm sure people from our community would be asking the same questions. They just want clarification, which is, it's always appreciated. See what we're trying to do with the city council, what they're trying to push, projects or whatever it is they're trying to get approved. Feedback from the community would be great. The more people that come to these meetings, they get to see how they go, and you get to see what agenda items are discussed. And if you didn't get answers, reach out to your council members.
Gotcha. Okay, question number 2. During the campaign, you talked about change and accountability and listening to residents. So now that you're serving, what does that look like in real life?
Like I said, I reach out to neighbors, and neighbors, they reach out to me. Like I said, I wanted accountability. So again, back to the questions, I'm going to ask questions why we're doing certain things. and that feedback from the community is what I need. Whether they're just emailing, calling me, texting me, asking questions, which is great. Just to be informed citizens.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good. Third question. What has surprised you most about how town government works once you're inside the process?
I don't think anything's really surprised me. I feel like the city thinks I'm on the opposite side of things, which is not the case. I'm willing to work with anybody, but I feel like my questions when they're asked, maybe it's my tone. I don't know. It could be me, but they feel like I'm coming off as aggressive or as rough. I'm not sure, but again, I'm just asking questions for clarification why we're doing certain things. If there's an explanation, great. If not, I'm happy to have a sidebar after the meeting or share emails back and forth with whoever disagrees or has a different point of view.
Sure. There has been public discussion about the code enforcement complaint that you filed. For people who have only heard pieces of it, what exactly did you file and what were you asking the town to review?
So I filed a complaint with the city, and that's the name of the form, is a citizens complaint form. Whether it's a concern or a complaint, you can fill it out, submit it to the city hall. Some neighbors reached out to me, and one of our residents was running a business out of his home. And I get it. COVID changed a lot of things in 2020. People started working out of their homes, and which is great. But, I was targeted for that very same thing by the city. And come to find out, there's 20 to 25 homeowners or residents running businesses out of their house, which to me, I think is great. I mean, people have to earn a living, whether you do it from your home or, like I said, COVID changed a lot of things. So a lot of people went to working from home. But then again, we have to revise the city ordinances. And if we review them, let's review them, revise them to where it makes sense for this day and age. Like COVID changed a lot of things. Yeah, that was 6 years ago. So let's move forward. Let's see what we can do about these city ordinances, zoning, and that type of stuff so that everybody's happy. I'm not singling anybody out. This was brought to my attention because certain residents don't feel comfortable filing complaints. They don't want to be retaliated against. They don't want to have that target on their back. Right. And again, that's why I said, just bring it to me. Like I'll submit it. Not a big deal.
Sure. I mean, I understand both sides of the coin. Everybody's got to work, and that's what America's all about. And working from home is one of those things that some of us do automatically. Sometimes we're assigned by our boss to remote from home and things like that. But there's kind of two ways to do it. And we could get into it at the future conversations and talk about that. But in plain language, what does fair and consistent code enforcement mean to you?
Enforce it equally across the board. So if I get a citation one day for the same thing that's happening on my neighbor's property, he should get a citation as well, or a warning. If it's going to be warnings, again, same thing throughout the whole community, not just, I'm just using me as an example, but there shouldn't be this where, so-and-so's got this going on their property. Why don't you cite them when this guy's been like this for the past 5 months? That's if the ordinance is going to be enforced, it can't look like the city has selective enforcement rules or they're related to somebody, so they're not going to be touched. It should be the same for everybody.
Roger that. Some residents may hear the word complaint and think wrongdoing has been proven. What should people understand about the difference between asking for a review and making a final accusation?
Well, I think when you get to the accusation point, is like you've already seen there's proof, there's warnings or citations that certain individuals are getting, and it seems like these other properties, nothing's been done because it hasn't been corrected. So asking for the review, well, now it's come to the attention of other people at city halls, whether it's supervisors, the next level, to say, hey, you guys need to check this out. I don't feel it's right. There's something happening here. Can you review it? What's going on? And then once they investigate and they come back and say like, well, this is the reason, that's the reason. Okay, great. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to communicate with the residents. If there's something going on, there's concern. Again, all I have to do is address the concern, figure it out. That's all the residents want is some communication.
Yep. Let's see, at recent meetings, you've asked questions about town priorities, spending, projects, and timing. What kind of issues are you watching most closely right now?
Most closely is the one that was just brought up, this beautification project. The Parks and Recreation Board had no clue about this. I feel like they should have been informed beforehand. The council should have been working with them if we plan to beautify the area or parks or the library. They should have been involved in that process, and they weren't. They had no idea. There's no details for this project other than pictures that were handed out of where these plants are going to beautify certain areas of Laguna Vista, like the entrance sign over on 510 and 100, the library by City Hall, and then like a few benches at the park. But again, $100,000 for plants, to me, it seemed a little excessive, and it didn't seem like we're making the best use of taxpayer money, especially if they don't know about it.
Right.
So, I mean, this is something that we could have probably talked to the community about. I know there's a lot of residents, neighbors that are gardeners or have gardens of their own. We could have asked them for plants or the walking trail, some indigenous plants that, will still thrive in the summer. As hot as it gets here, the plants are still doing well. And if we use some of those plants that are, pollinators or attract pollinators, it's still going to serve the same purpose of beautifying these certain areas. But again, at a fraction of the cost, not $100,000. The next one would be the drainage project. At last night's meeting, I was told we do have the heavy equipment. Now we just need heavy equipment operators to operate the equipment. And that money we have until September 30th of this year to spend. So if we don't spend it, we'd have to submit another extension. They kind of don't want to do that, but if we have to, we will, according to the city manager, which is great. If we don't have the people to do the job, let's ask for that extension. I don't know. We're just coming kind of close to the wire right now.
Okay. Looking ahead, what do you want residents to know about how you plan to serve, ask questions, and work with the rest of the council and keep the public informed?
Well, like I said at the beginning, just talking to the residents, the neighbors, putting information out there, putting the feelers out there for different projects or ideas or stuff that the community might be concerned about. Trying to do a pop-up right now is kind of hard. I did that during the campaign, just put up a tent at the end of my driveway to have, neighbors come by, chat, ask me what was going on, or, have me ask them what's going on, what they're concerned about. But with the mosquitoes and the heat, that's kind of difficult right now. But hopefully soon I'll be able to do that again and put something on social media, get the neighbors to come around, maybe do another lemonade stand or something. Just something to meet the neighbors. I also had somebody reach out to me earlier, a fellow veteran, trying to get a group together of vets to navigate the Healthy eVet app, which would be great. I mean, I know Chief Waters has talked about a veterans group meeting at the firehouse, and Penny at the library as well. She mentioned wanted to be a part of it. So I think it'd be great if we started a veterans group and just kind of got together, see what we can do for our community. As veterans, I think we have we take pride in not in serving. I get it, we already served, but we're back in our community, and we still have that drive to serve and make our communities better. So hopefully we can get that going soon.
Okay. We're kind of at the end of our question list, and we talked about having questions from the audience. It's slowly trickling in. I've got a JWC 426. He says hello. And then there's Miss Galvan, 8274. She can't see anything, but she won't. If people will just ask the question, we'll see it. And just write us in right now. Ask a question, hit the enter button, and we'll see it, and maybe we'll get it on the air tonight. So let's see what happens. And that's here on the live chat on YouTube over in the side panel. You have to subscribe to SPI News in order to submit a question, but that's just formality. If anybody wants to ask a question, we're here. Hello, hello. Anything else you can think of while we're waiting? What you'd like to say, or a comment, or you serve the floor?
I'd like to reach out to the community, to get more involvement at our meetings. That way you're not hearing it secondhand from me. You heard it at the meeting, what's being planned, what's on the agenda, those type of things. Is just be more involved. That's actually what got me involved. Somebody asked me to go to a meeting to see what was going on, and I started attending more meetings, and well, here I am, a part of the council now, hopefully trying to make a change.
Yeah. Good.
We do have a Parks and Rec board meeting tomorrow. I forget what time. I want to say it's at 5:00. But
tomorrow
again, and this is going to be for the beautification project. They're gonna, because the last meeting that we had last week, we didn't have enough members for a quorum, so it got pushed to this week.
Okay, that's good. Tomorrow night at what, 5:30? I think it was something like that.
5 or 6. I'd have to look at see if I can pull it up real quick.
All right. I'm still looking for questions here. And hello, hello. Well, that's what happens when it's our first time out. And sometimes this happens. We'll get it worked out, and we'll have you back on. Since we don't have any questions coming on that I can see, that I can determine from here, I can't do anything else.
Sorry, the board meeting will be at 5:30 at City Hall tomorrow.
Okay. Do you have access to YouTube on one of your screens there?
I can probably pull it up on my phone.
Hang on, let me just make one other check. Just one other check, just in case here. And all righty, live chat. And no, those are the same three that I saw. I see JWC 4226 has a question mark. I see a JWC. If you want to submit your question, go ahead and type it. But that's the only one I see besides the other lady. How about that? We'll certainly have to look into this, but it's a situation of the first time mistakes.
yeah, work out the bugs.
We'll certainly have you back. We'd love to have everybody on the city council on. It's a good opportunity for the community to have a place to talk things out. And it seems like a great idea. I think the community's ready for it. So hopefully we'll have somebody on every week, if not even more frequently. So anything else you can think of for wrapping it up?
See the Parks and Rec board tomorrow. He's got an email from the city manager. The groundbreaking for the drainage project will happen July 7th over here at the walking trail on Palm. That's July 7th. So we'll see, hopefully with that groundbreaking, maybe that means we've got some people lined up to operate that heavy equipment, and we get that going for the next rains hit.
Why don't you tell everybody about the jobs that are coming up for the construction, heavy equipment city manager was talking about. The city's going to need to hire hire employees for the city in this construction and drainage project. It'll be full-time employment, only temporary, but full-time, like 40 hours a week, that kind of thing. That'll be good money, good jobs for heavy equipment operators. So we want to get that out there and spread the word that those jobs are almost here. They're coming. So pay attention to that. That was the first time yesterday was the first time I was ever in the new STEC, South Texas Ecologic, right?
Ecotourism Center.
Yeah, Ecotourism Center. It's very pretty, very beautiful. It's done very well, laid out very well, and I'll go back when I have time and visit again. I love those kind of things. So anyway, I don't see anybody with any other questions. Let's go ahead and think about pulling the plug, I guess. Thanks everybody for being here on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We hope you see the utility in this, and we think you will. We think it's important. And I'd like to thank once again Frank Galvan from the city of Laguna Vista, Alderman Place 1, for coming out and giving us his time tonight, inviting others to do so as well. Just hit us up on the website. Frank, thanks very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Go hug the 7 children and the wife. That's great. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, bud. And
yes, sir.
Thanks for checking in. Thanks, everybody, for checking in tonight and watching the show. And we promise to have more real soon. Hopefully once a week, like I said. We'll keep you posted. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.